Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jack. This is JTH Books. And today I thought I would give you some queer historical fiction recommendations. Now, if you're like me, you are looking for queer historical recommendations. I look for them all the time. Very few satisfy me. I don't know why. I don't know why. I wish I knew why. Now, if you're like me, you are looking for queer historical fiction novels all the time. Well, I hope you are if you're watching this video, because but I really struggle with historical fiction in this genre. It's because I don't know what I want, but I do know what I don't want. Does that make sense? It just never seems to satisfy me. Some do, and but there's just something, I just need it. I need some bangers. Bangers is not the right word to describe queer historical fiction. I shouldn't have used it, but it's out there now. But so I'm going to give you some recommendations. Some of these I've read, some I haven't, some I've loved, some I didn't. But I am going to recommend them all because you might hear the synopsis and be like, actually, what are you talking about, Jack? That sounds brilliant. Why wouldn't you like that? I want to read that. I've never heard this before. So if it brings something new to you and you like the sound of it and you want to read it and it becomes a favourite book, or you don't like it like me, or that's what this is all about. That is what reading is all about. That's why I recommend them, so you can maybe find a book you're interested in, because that's what matters after all. So yeah, let's get started. I've got quite a few here. I've got many more, but I'm only going to do a few today. And then, well, I hope you find one you like. So, first up, we have The Dangerous Kingdom of Love by Neil Blackmore. I'll be honest right out of the gate. This is one I didn't like. Neil also wrote The Intoxicating Mr. Lavelle, which I didn't like. 2 for 2. But I still would try another Neil Blackmore queer historical fiction book. This one is about Francis Bacon, who I'm sure you all know. Francis was very high up in the court of King James the first, number 1. And so he can sort of control the king. He finds a boy, well, a young man. He finds a young man to become the king's lover, but he also is Francis' lover. And as you can imagine, things get complicated, feelings get involved. And this is set in the 1500s. Imagine if I'm wrong. Oh, 1613. If you get caught up in the court in those days, you know what happens. You get killed. So you can imagine the stakes are high. I read this one a long time ago. Why didn't I like it? I don't know why I didn't like it. I feel like maybe if I reread it, I would like it more. But there was just something missing. I think maybe I wanted more detail from it. But it is quite detailed, so it doesn't make any sense. But if you love this period of history, I think you'll like this one. It does get quite steamy. I think maybe with this and Mr. Lavelle, Neil chooses characters I don't particularly like. But anyway, I know the timeline's altered a bit in this one, but it is mostly a true story. These things happen. So, again, it baffles me I didn't like it. Even when I'm telling you it, I'm like, God, I really love the sound of that. But there was something missing from it for me. But again, if you like the sound of it, I hope you enjoy it if you pick it up. I feel like Miss Lavelle, Neil's first book, was quite popular, and this one hasn't been so. But I hope this is a queer story that interests you. And it's true. 1613, the king had a male lover. Can we salute that? Thank you. Next up, we're going to have one again I didn't like. Is this becoming a habit? But it is A Marvellous Light by Freya Marksey. This is the Illumicrate edition. Look at that. Isn't it stunning? This is a fantasy. I don't know when it's set, though. Again, great historical fiction vintage, Jack. You don't know when anything's set. I have no idea when it's set. There you go. How about that? Let me see if the synopsis says. No idea. All I know is that a man called Robin goes to work at an agency and he discovers that there is magic. And he then falls in love with Edwin. Is his name Edwin, please? Edwin! Well done, Edwin. No, well done me, not Edwin. And it's sort of Edwin falling in love. There's sort of Robin and Edwin falling in love, and Edwin sort of magic. And yeah, I didn't like this. I'm trying to explain it to you as best as I can, but I just didn't like it. It is another steamy one. This one does get steamy. It make your old cheeks blush. I will say that. But I will say as well, on Bookstagram. My Bookstagram is linked down below. JTH Books. If you want to find me on anything, you probably don't, but if you do, it's all JTH Books. Yeah, I didn't like the magic system. I found the story pretty dull. But it is a queer historical fiction, so I've got to bring it up to you. And I swear there are some ones I like in this video. But yeah, again, and I was in the minority of this. I know most people that read this really did enjoy it. But look at the cover. It's a beautiful cover, but it just wasn't for me. I wish I could remember when it was set. Yeah, no. It just wasn't for me. But if you like the sound of it, if I explained it, I don't know if I explained it to you very well. No, yeah, just... Next up, we have Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. Now, this is a YA novel. That's right, we're getting some YA on the queer historical fiction. I love this book. It's one of my favourites of last year. This is about someone called... This is about Lily, who... she's seen the advertisement, she's seen the flashing sign for the Telegraph Club, a club in San Francisco, and she's so intrigued by it. And then it's set in 1954, and it's not a safe book here. And Lily is Chinese American, and it's obviously the time of the Red Scare, so it's not a very safe place. It's a very safe time to be Chinese either. And she finds a friend, Kathleen, and they decide to sneak into the Telegraph Club together. And there she meets a whole host of characters, and romance ensues, and it's just absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I cannot explain it enough. There is a sequel coming out in October, which has been announced, and I'm very, very, very excited for it. But yeah, this is just a brilliant sapphic historical fiction book. I didn't expect to love this one as much as I did, but it has become my favourite. I recommend it to everyone. I've probably recommended it on this channel before. But YA, sapphic, really captures a brilliant time in history and captures sort of the magic of queer spaces in this time and finding yourself in that time and how it feels safe, but there's raids to this club. And yeah, honestly, just... And then we have one called At Swim, Two Boys by Jamie O'Neill. Now, this is an Irish book. I know there's an Irish readathon, so you could always read that for this. This is about two boys who... Well, not boys, young men who go to this nude beach and they see each other there every day and they slowly fall in love. But this is set in 1916 in Ireland, and it's the year of the Easter Rising. So many things happen, but I feel like I do remember it took me a while to get into because it's just hard to understand a bit. But oh, my feet have gone numb. Excuse me. Am I too low now? That's fine. But I know it's a chunkster, but at the end of it, I was absolutely loving it. It is, at its heart, it's a sweet, tender love story. And I can't recommend this one enough. I don't feel like it's shouted about enough. But yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed this one. I read it so long ago. I feel like if I read it now, I would love it even more. I think back in the day, I think the problems were like didn't quite get subtlety then. I wanted, you know, things loud, bang in your face. This is very subtle, but beautiful. I can't, why do I keep doing that? It's so embarrassing, but beautiful. And we are going back to one I didn't like. The Magician by Colm Tobin. Now, this is literally won a prize. I can't remember the prize, but I know it won it. Now, this is the story of, excuse me, my feet have gone so numb. I can't remember. Thomas Mann, who is a real person, so it's a fictionalized story of his life. And it's about his marriage and his children, but how, and the complex, what's the word I'm looking for? Complex relationship he has with his homeland. It's set in the First World War, I think. Yeah, 1914. And it also, Thomas Mann, what did he write? He wrote a very famous book, and it is featured in this. But for its queer aspect, for me, I wanted more from it. I didn't know anything about Thomas Mann, so it had little like glimpses, and I wanted more. But if that wasn't his life, you know, the author's got to stay true to his life. But again, this is a prize-winning book, so don't listen to me. Maybe listen to the prize people. But yeah, this is one of the First World War books for any fans of that period of time. Not fans, but if you're interested in that period of time, maybe this is the one for you. Now, this is one I haven't read, but this is A Sitting in St. James. Rita Williams Garcia wrote this. This is set in 1860 Louisiana. After serving a mistress of Le Pete Cottage for more than 6 decades, Madame Sylvie Gilbert has decided, in spite of her family's indifference, to sit for a portrait, a testament to all the hardships she has overcome and the glory that her life ought to have had. But there are other important stories to be told on the Gilbert plantation, like that of Thisbe, the enslaved young woman who must stand silent by her mistress, but who observes everything. Or Byron, the heir to the plantation, whose desires cannot simply fit with his family duty. Stories that span generations from the big house and out in the fields of routine horrors, secrets buried as deep as the family fortune, and a tangled lineage of descendants and dependents who have never forgotten who they are. That does sound brilliant. I know I will like this one. But yeah, it sounds like Byron is going to be the queer character in here, doesn't it? But again, I just thought this would be a good one because it's another period of time. I'm trying to like vary up the period of time, so I hope it's working and you find something you like. But I think after reading that, I'm going to be reading this one soon. And now my last recommendation for this video is, and I'm sure you've all heard of this one, but I feel like get it out of the way for this one, is My Policeman by Bethan Roberts. As you can see here, soon to be a major motion film. I think we all know why. We all know this book because Harry Styles is in it. We're excited to see it. I would like to read this before the film comes out. Again, one I haven't read, but again, I'm hoping that's not an issue for you and you like the sound of it. It is 1950s Brighton. I don't live that far from Brighton, just to clarify. That Marion first catches sight of Tom. He teaches her to swim in the shadow of the pier, and Marion is smitten, determined her love will be enough for them both. A few years later in Brighton Museum, Patrick meets Tom. Patrick is besotted with Tom and opens his eyes to a glamorous, sophisticated new world. Tom is their policeman, and in this age it is safe for him to marry Marion. The two lovers must share until one of them breaks and 3 lives are destroyed. God, that sounds brilliant. See, I get my hopes up, and then if it's not, I think I'm a bit of a person who likes, not always subtlety. I want it to be, you know, heart-wrenching, and if it's just subtle, then I get a bit disappointed. So I keep my expectations low. But again, I thought this is a different period of time, set in Brighton, which is sort of the queer capital of the UK. Fight me if I'm wrong. No, don't, because literally Soho does exist. But so I went to Brighton for my 30th birthday back in March. We didn't go to one gay club, but all my family were there, so it would have been a bit strange. But anyway, that was a weird tangent. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to read this one. I've heard brilliant things, and again, I thought this is another period of time for you. So if it sounds interesting, pick it up. If you're a bit like me and you'll read it before the film, I think the film comes out in October or September, so we've got a couple of months. So that's it. That is some of my queer historical fiction books. And I have a lot more. If you want a part 2 of this video, let me know, because I'll do it. And yeah, I've got a lot more. Like I said, I look out for queer historical fiction. But I hope you've found a book you're interested in or you've read. Let me know if you've read any of them or this video made you want to pick one up. That would mean the world to me. And we're going to have a chinwag about it. Chinwag. Is that just like a really weird British saying? But I mean, it's just me. It's a chat. If it. But yeah, let me know. Like and subscribe. Let me know if you want part 2. And thank you so much for watching.